The unprecedented vote to remove the Speaker of the House has left Congress in chaos, and it's also revealed the deep-rooted divisions within the Republican Party.
Right-wing Republicans have to solve the problems that right-wing Republicans create, okay? And so the civil war within the Republican Party has nothing to do with us.
So Republicans at war with themselves, Democrats seizing the opportunity to show their strength. Joining us this morning from Capitol Hill in the Rotunda, Democratic Congressman Dan Goldman. So Congressman, good to see you this morning. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
So Congressman, let's talk about this, right? Certainly uncharted, historic territory that we were in. We just heard from your colleague across the aisle, Republican Nicole Maliotakis, who was saying that it was actually the Democrats' fault that this kind of all played out and happened, right? Saying that the Democrats should have kept the Speaker and not voted against it. What's your take on how this all played out?
It's laughable that they're trying to blame the Democrats. This is a party that for 9 months has not engaged one time with House Democrats, has not worked across the aisle in any way, shape, or form. And even when they did have to reach bipartisan consent to pass the debt ceiling bill, they then went back on their own agreement. Kevin McCarthy is someone who has surrendered the party to Donald Trump and the extremists. He's untrustworthy. He has gone back on his word. He has not engaged with us. There is absolutely no reason why any Republican should think that the Democrats would come and save Kevin McCarthy when he has had a disastrous 9 months as Speaker. This is their own civil war, as my colleague Mr. Raskin said. They need to sort it out. It's bewildering to me that somehow the fact that a Republican sought to vacate the Speaker chair and 8 Republicans voted to do that this is somehow the Democrats who are in the minority and do not choose the Speaker, that it's somehow our fault. It's preposterous.
Yeah, so you, along with every single Democrat in the House, voted in favor of removing McCarthy. It was a unified front, led by Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, who is now being referred to as the de facto Speaker. So is there a way that Democrats can leverage this momentum in their favor?
It remains to be seen. Certainly it can't get any worse, and I think that was the view of the entire Democratic caucus. We are incredibly unified in focusing on governing and focusing on what the American people need. And on the other side of the aisle, we have chaos, division, hate, and dysfunction. And it's really, they're in the majority. If they cannot govern, that's on them. We are prepared to work across the aisle. We have been this entire time. There are serious issues that need to be addressed in a bipartisan way, including the immigration crisis on the border and in New York City. We wait desperately hoping that we can work with our Republican colleagues to find solutions. And instead, what they are doing is cynical politics designed to actually sabotage our system and burn the House down in order to get whatever they want. And it's unclear exactly what they want.
Yeah, and so, there are some names being floated around, right? Jim Jordan is somebody Nicole Maliotakis had kind of floated around, Steve Scalise as well. Is there any name that you're hearing or a name that would be put forth that you would support?
I think at this point, it's for the Republicans to work out. If they want to come talk to us and discuss what might get some support from Democrats, I'm sure Leader Jeffries is open to that discussion. But remember, and this is important, even with the vote yesterday, even with the vote on the continuing resolution, Speaker McCarthy never reached out to discuss this with Democrats. Yeah. Ultimately, he caved to what the Democrats were holding out for on the clean continuing resolution on Saturday. So we, of course, voted for it because that's what we had been arguing for the entire time. But there's no bipartisanship. There is no engagement from the Republicans. And until there is, we are proud to stand behind Leader Jeffries, who is ready to lead this House of Representatives, ready to govern for the American people.
Yeah, but just real quickly, though, there is so much uncertainty now because we don't know who the next speaker will be. The vote could take forever. McCarthy had to endure 15 rounds of voting before he was elected as speaker. That being said, what does that mean for, what's on the legislative agenda right now?
No, it's really not good. It's really, really not good. and that's why they need to get their act in order. I can't emphasize enough, they are in the majority. When you are in the majority in the House, you control everything. It's not like the Senate. In the House, the majority can control everything. They control what comes to the floor. They control what legislation is. They can ram things through, as they have done this entire Congress, with discriminatory, bigoted, culture war amendments to bills that have nothing to do with that, to efforts to cut discretionary spending by 30%, which would mean that American families would be devastated by some of these cuts. They're not trying to govern in any meaningful way, even though there's divided government. They're going to have to work with Democrats in the Senate and the White House in order to pass anything, and yet they still are not working with us.
We're going to have to leave it there. Congressman Dan Goldman, I appreciate your time this morning from Capitol Hill. Thank you for joining us.